to the Takeover. This is Bonafide Takeover Sports. Here with your host T-Wil, the People's Coach, and Bold Barry.
The boldest man alive, ready to talk about a lot of things today.
You already know.
Got a lot on my mind.
You already know. So, we're going to switch it up a little bit for y'all viewers. You mainly talk about basketball, but, we're going to get into a little bit of football. There's a lot of, I would say a lot of football news, but there's a lot of controversy in the football world right now. Those who kind of been hip to the news and what's going on already know where we're going with this. Colin Kaepernick. So I'll give you all some backstory for those who are watching and aren't really familiar with Colin Kaepernick's story over the past, year. He chose to take a stand against, police brutality.
Police brutality, oppression of minorities, etc., etc. The list goes on.
so he chose to take a knee during the national anthem. That was his movement, So a lot of people felt a different type of way about that. And at this point in time, they felt so badly about that and took that the wrong way that he's being blackballed out the NFL. Point blank, period.
Glad you said it. I was going to use those words myself.
And so
that's just what it is.
In recent news, and now this is where we're just going to start with this because this is like where it's going. Jay doesn't even want to play football no more, but he'll take the bread Cutler. I know that's a long name, but that's he got a $10 million contract from the Miami Dolphins.
So we can't talk about that as money and stuff like that. That Kaepernick's asking for too much money.
Yeah,
can't say that anymore.
So
just gave a guy that doesn't want to play football.
And I bring it up to say, because we'll get into it some more. I only bring up Jay Cutler to say that these jobs are out there.
There's so many quarterbacks getting signed. There's so many people getting signed for no reason. Like, dudes that probably never see the field except for, like, practice, preseason, or training camp. And it's like, we understand he's not a starter at this point, which, truthfully, I feel like he can start. Yeah. The guy just, 4 or 5 years?
You got Mike Glennon starting.
Right. You got these dudes I've never really heard of before, to be quite honest. Getting paid and getting, signed to teams when this guy clearly is good enough. He's 4 or 5 years removed from a Super Bowl. I never heard of that before. That's, like, asinine to me, so...
It's crazy. So, like I said, we can get into the stats. We can get into that whole piece about it.
It is deeper than stats.
It's not about the stats. It's not about the stats because people, like I said, those of you all who know football and those of you all who know some of these quarterbacks who are in this league right at this point in time, that whether given the personnel that Kaepernick was given when he was in his role with the Niners. After they went through that period where he was the guy, you know what I'm saying? He had no personnel. So to base his...
Let's just cut the small talk with the stat stuff, man. Because we all know that it's not about these stats. Nah. Like, it's plain and simple that the man has stood up for something that, the mass majority of the world and these owners, these billion-dollar owners in this business, they don't want to be a part of. They don't want to be a part of this. So the easiest way to get this out of there is by blackballing that, making it less of a distraction, but having all these guys like Mike Vick, Dog Killer Man,
Dog Killer,
Ray Lewis, the murderer, turned preacher. You got them out there, kind of co-signing it, but also saying like he needs to stick to playing football, and it's obviously a deeper thing than football. Like they're pretty much saying like these dudes need to be out here like shucking and jiving and dancing on the field and worrying about one thing when they have a life outside of football. And this affects them just as much, but they're holding them back.
For me, it's like at that point. But I'm aggravated from the standpoint of all these black athletes, all these African American athletes, all these minority athletes. You see someone fighting for a cause that could affect you, your families, and they're choosing just to sit back because they get that.
Lose the money.
They don't want to lose the money. They want to support their own family. Mm-hmm. At the same time, like I see a lot of people talk about, and it's not going to happen. It's sad. If they all fought for the cause, they're not going to fire everybody. Everyone's not going to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys, they bring too much to the league for you to feel like, okay, I can't speak up because you know what I'm saying. If you all they banded together. You know what I'm saying? All these repercussions that they're scared about, it wouldn't be the case. It wouldn't be the case
because they're at a different point in this world. They're national icons at this point, But at the same time, the money, once you're making threats about taking endorsements and cutting away your checks or not getting a contract the next year, like we've seen it time and time again. Whether you're an outspoken guy, whether it's in a positive outlook or a negative outlook, like they erase you. We've seen it happen at AI. The story of Craig Hodge from the Chicago Bulls, in like I believe 92 or something like that. Like the list goes on. So it's a clear agenda that they have going on here.
But I feel like what's sad about it, more sad about it, this man's like around our age. Like he's
Right.
still young,
He's
like
still
not
young.
he's still like he's just
And
like
he's already retired from football because he wants to, stand up for what's right.
it's crazy that you're banning someone who's still young, can still grow, can still be better, and like we just keep saying, at one point was a Super Bowl quarterback. At one point was the top quarterback in the league.
If it wasn't for certain things happening at Super Bowl, I believe he would have won.
Yeah.
It was like that halftime, the light special, right? Was that?
No, yeah, he came back.
Yeah,
like, he brought them back.
Right.
You know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
there we go.
But that's
he brought
another
it back.
point to prove like he's not a trash.
He's not
like,
trash.
He has potential to do something, but then you also look at it like, okay,
and they want to say it's for attention and stuff like that, but people are not realizing what he's doing off the field.
No, it's a bigger cause than him.
It's deeper than football.
So and then so like I said, to go back to the Jay Cutler point, I get the fact that he has a relationship with Adam Gase, and he had one of his best seasons when Adam Gase was his coach and organizing things for him. But it's really not about, you know what I'm saying? It is about Jay Cutler because he's trash. But it's really not about Jay Cutler to the extent that it's just showing that, they pulled this man. He retired. He didn't want to play for. He's about to go get a job in the media, huh?
Oh wow.
Yeah, like he's about to get a job in the media.
That's crazy.
And they pulled him out his office. It's like instead of at least they didn't.
These are the Miami Dolphins too, right?
Yeah.
They're sick.
He didn't even. All these jobs out here, all these dudes, all these no-name dudes. Like I said, we posted an article on our page of one dude that got a job. He stopped playing football, went in to be a realty agent, came back. Like, it's like.
But one guy takes a knee and protests against things that aren't right, and he still can't find a job. But all these teams are teasing the the signings. What was it? The Baltimore Ravens a few days ago.
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins. Who next? The Colts or something? It's gonna be the Colts.
And then you look at, like I said, you got that guy back there. I just put that back there because he's
Mr. Cut his hair.
Yeah,
Mr. Cut your hair stuff. But he had braids
so he can be get a corporate job.
Right.
But
you're killing dogs.
but you look at dudes who look at it like, okay, and this may go left, but when Ben Roethlisberger was going through his situation, there was no question. His team, stood behind him, and there was no question about his job per se. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You look at like Mike Vick. He went through his thing, but when he got right out, he went right back on the team. These dudes that are like they're going through far worse accusations than
fighting for what's right,
and then when what Kaepernick's even really going through. And they get jobs right away.
But that's a threat to the world, man. You can't be like a revolutionist, dog. You can't be a revolutionary, man.
I may feel some type of way. Cause I seen Detroit the other day, and
Oh, see, I can't wait to go see that, man.
Yeah, that's probably why I feel some type of way during this.
That's how I felt when I seen Birth of a Nation, bro. Like a couple weeks ago, I own the movie now. Yeah, I feel some sort of way.
But
the oppression needs to stop.
It's not that type of show. All right,
we talk sports.
All right, well, we'll catch y'all next episode. Appreciate it. Please comment with your thoughts. Please join our page. We, having some discussion on there because the story's gonna keep going till this man gets a job. So we're gonna keep.
He won't get a job though. So stay tuned. He's blackballed. This is it. He's just gonna make headlines.
Hopefully good ones.